this event is to celebrate and share the contributions that women have made to the ICT industry in this region. So it's my great honor to be attending this event. I'd like to start by thanking our event sponsors, PH Colo and Akamai. I'm sorry that no one from PH Colo is available here. Let me invite Fumi Nozawa from Akamai to say a few words.
I'm very happy to be here today. My name is Fumi Nozawa. I'm working for Akamai Technologies. I joined Akamai last November, and I found that Akamai is a gender and culture diverse company. While the industry is still relatively male-dominated society, especially in Japan, I have been enjoying my job as I think Akamai is making a lot of efforts to change the world, to let people use it more efficiently. And I also have met a lot of people in different cultures through my jobs at Akamai. We are committed to sponsor this event because this is values we believe in, and we encourage women to apply for the jobs at Akamai. We look for bright, imaginative people who bring different backgrounds and perspectives to Akamai and help enrich our dynamic workplace. And also we need innovative ideas that changes customers' business for the better. If these values resonate with you, then please join us and be a part of a growing team of women in technology who are helping to shape the future of the hyper-connected world. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Fumi. We will have a great lineup of presenters here today, and I'm sure their experience will inspire and motivate more women to take part. I'd like to now to invite our facilitator today, globalization consultant and executive leadership, Laina Greene.
I'm wearing green to say this.
Yes, Laina has more than 20 years of executive leadership and new program development. He started his career in telecommunications field, working at International Telecommunications Union, that's ITU in Geneva. Yes, Geneva. She currently holds roles as a senior advisor, a shoulder, a goodwill ambassador for Ltd Indonesia, and lead consultant for GetIT Inc. She was also the first policy advisor of APNIC and helped to incorporate APNIC as an entity in AP region back in 1996. As the first section of APTLD and policy advisor of APNIC, she also organized the first Women in ICT session at Apricot back in 1996 in Manila. Let's welcome Laina.
Okay, so I had the pleasure of having lived in Indonesia for 2.5 years, and I'm really, really amazed at what's happening in Indonesia. So therefore I'm so amazed and so grateful that all these three wonderful women who are amazing in their own field have agreed to be here today with us. We had a Girls in ICT Day celebration recently, and Anantya and Nancy were on that panel, and I was actually trying to get Sylvia. Wasn't able to get her then, but I'm so glad that she's here today. Before we start, I'm actually going to read you a quote. And by the way, welcome all the gentlemen in the room, because let's give them a round of applause. So I'm going to read a quote, and I'm going to ask you to guess who gave this quote, okay? The real drivers of the post-American world won't be China, or India, or Brazil, or any nation for that matter. The real drivers will be women. Women entrepreneurs, women business, political, academic, and cultural leaders, and women innovators. The truth is that women already are the most dynamic and fastest growing economic force in the world today. So let's forget for the moment all the talk about the China century, or the India century, or the BRICS century. The real story is that the 21st century is going to be the women's century. Can anyone guess who said this quote? Hello? How many of you think it's a woman? No? One? How many of you think it was a man who gave that quote? Okay? That was from Mukta Kent, Chairman and CEO of Coca-Cola. Yes, there you go. On that note, I wanted to say, we're here talking about women in ICT. ICT is a real driver. And ICT, there are many more women getting on board. And the face of ICT has to change. A lot of times when we think about who are the people at the frontier of technology, you think of Steve Jobs, you think of peak people, but you don't really think of all those amazing women. I mean, we have Elise here, for example, right? And Leslie, and we have all these wonderful women in the tech field. So it's a time to bring this forward, the faces of these new women forward. The other thing is that technology actually has become more accessible, easier to use, more affordable. When I started off 25 years ago in telecoms, boy, there's no way on earth I could have afforded a telecom server, right? Today, people are running our VoIP services out of their garages and stuff. Girls Who Code is promoting. My niece had a degree in liberal arts, and today she codes. She works for a technology company in the US coding. So the world of technology is changing. At the same time, there are challenges. In many countries, there's still attitudinal changes, institutional changes that make it difficult for girls and women to get into this field. So there's a real opportunity here, and societal change. Did you know that 70% of the poor in the world are women? So if we want to do good in the world, we want to serve humanity, guess what? Women are the key players. So on that note, I would like to start today's discussion because we have three wonderful women who are doing amazing things to not only help Indonesia, but also place Indonesia in the world market. So we're going to start the panel first with Nancy Margried Panjaitan, who is the CEO and co-founder of Batik Fractal. She will give you her little story of how she got into the ICT world and what she does. She's an award-winning entrepreneur in having international product recognition. Her team created Batik Fractal and iBatik software in 2007 and established two products as one of the top innovations in Indonesia. She has experience in strategy, she's in business, in technology, and she'll tell you that how she came from the ICT field and her story. Over to you, Nancy.
Thank you, Laina. You make me sound so good.
You do. She's also a TEDx speaker, by the way.
So, how I come to the ICT? My father was an early adopter, so we are in touch with technology since toddler. And we play with computers all the time when I was young. And back in 2007, me and my two partners were talking about creating a batik pattern out of fractal algorithm. So we're mixing the scientific things with tradition. And we think it will be really cool if we can create a batik pattern. You know, batik is a traditional art from Indonesia. Usually it's in form of clothing, like what I'm wearing, yes, like this. And several audiences here also wear batik. And we think it would be cool to create this traditional beautiful pattern out of mathematical formula. And doing it manually, of course, it is possible, but it's not cool enough. Because and we think, okay, we should involve technology in this. So we started to create a software where and with the software, we want the software to be able to change fractal algorithm to become the pattern. And we succeeded, and we think it would be cool if we spread it to the Batik producers. And we see Batik producers in Indonesia is a big, large number because they spread around throughout the country. There are in Sumatra, in Java, in everywhere around the country. And it's not usual to involve technology in this traditional art. So this is, we think this going to be, I don't know, we're young and we think big and we think, oh, this is going to be disruptive and game-changing, and we're going to change how people creating batik by using the technology, by using the software. So yeah, that's pretty much some of what I'm doing. Right now, our software has been used by more than 1,400 traditional batik artisans in Indonesia. We are creating online training. We are also come to several batik villages because they live in a remote area of Indonesia, and we want to give direct training. So we're talking about infusing technology to a group of people that is never been in touch with technology before.
So how has that experience been, introducing technology?
It's surprising because at first they're afraid of technology. Yes, when we handed them with a set of laptop or computers, they were like, okay, what is this devices? Because they've never seen it before, or if they see it, it's only on television. But once they see the batik pattern on the screen, now they can relate to the technology because it's a device. And we told them, okay, this device is not something that you have to be afraid of. It will help you, and it will
So do they create their own patterns? Or
yes,
they create their own patterns.
They create their own pattern, and so
and that was the process that was very difficult. Right?
Very difficult because we have to ease their fear of technology, and after that they can. It's very natural after that.
And I think you mentioned once also that part of the cost of batik was that the patterns were expensive.
Yes.
So Batik Fractal, by using ICT, you're allowing them to create patterns cheaply, right?
Cheaply and faster.
Yes. Great.
Thank
Fantastic
you.
Story. And your background was, are you an engineer?
No, I'm actually educated in communication science. Mm-hmm. So yeah,
but you're a total geek.
Total geek. Yes.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Maybe we'll head on to Anantya then. So Anantya is the co-CEO of Think.Web, and she's also the co-founder of Girls in Tech. Yes, that's right, in Indonesia. She has about 12 years of experience in this industry with a wide range of online promotion activities. She has her bachelor's and master's degree from University of Indonesia and at least 5 startups under her belt. And I was just talking to her how she's creating an incubator for more and more startups in Indonesia coming. So Anantya, the young entrepreneur with a bright future.
Thank you, Laina. So hello everybody, my name is Anantya. As Laina said, my background is in communication studies. I studied on mass communications in both bachelor and master. And I stumbled upon the digital world or technology world is not by plan actually. My first initiative after I graduated from bachelor is actually to become a journalist. And by fate, I think I became a journalist, but on websites. So actually, I manage one website. It's a publication website. I have to write about 5 articles per day. and that was back in 2002. And afterwards, within my team, it's only two, me and my partners, is a man that handles all the designs. And we've been talking back and forth, and we have the same dream about the digital world, because what I love about digital is that you can learn about anything. When I start working as the content providers, I learned how to code a little bit, I learned how to manage websites a little bit, and then we were thinking about, I think this is the future. And back in the days, after like 3 years of working together, we set up and then we talk about how about we make a business out of it. And what we do is that we don't have any business background. What we do is that we search heavily online how to make a business proposals, how to make a financial forecasting, how to make a proper like a business proposals. And then we pitch out to the investor that we want. The first person that we pick is actually our boss. And this person is kind enough to be our angel investors, and we're working up until now. It's about like 10 years right now. And we started fairly small, but right now we have like about 100 employees right now in our digital agencies. And what we do in these agencies is actually promoting other like-minded person like I was back in the days. We search for people that same as me and my partners. And we nurture them to have the entrepreneur spirit, and we let them to do whatever they want. So when they come to us and they say, okay, I think this line of business have an opportunity, and they talk to us, and then it ends up, like Laina says, right now we have like about 5 or 6 startups under our belts. And it ranges from game developers in Bandung, and we also have developers in Jakarta. We have social media, and we have online radio, and we have like website startup that are exclusively on trial base. So that was the short stories.
So you went from mass communication to journalism to coding to being a total geek yourself.
Yeah.
Very inspiring story indeed. Thank you so much. And if I'm not mistaken, once you mentioned about the thing that encouraged you to get involved in the online publishing is because you wanted to make medias accessible, right?
Yes.
You wanted to break the sort of the monopoly of the media industry.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Anantya. And I've been saving not the least, the best for the last. The most colorful. That's why I asked this in the middle here. Indeed. So I don't know where to start because she comes. So Sylvia Sumarlin is the chair of the Indonesian IT Federation. I'm sure she's very familiar to a lot of you. When I was trying to do my research for Girls in Tech ICT Day, her name came up top on the list. Totally. So she started, I believe, the first ISP in Indonesia, also the first ISP that was listed as the public on the stock exchange, right? And also very well known for someone who developed a chip that was very famous in Indonesia, and still is. So she runs her own company, but I'll mention a couple of the other positions because they're very, very worth mentioning. Held positions as Vice Chairman of the ICT Division for the Indonesian Chamber of Commerce, right? The Chairperson for the Indonesian ISP Association, and the Secretary General for the Indonesian Info Technology Federation. So you can see that within Indonesia, she's also very well recognized. So I'm really dying to hear your story.
Okay, since you already mentioned all my words, I guess I start with something that's different, the hurdle. I mean, they've been talking about successful stories, which they deserve an applause for that. I'm going to be talking about how difficult being a woman in the ICT, not among the community, but among the family. It's very different. Yes, even though people say, hey, my nickname is Effie, by the way. Even though people say, Effie, you're such an accomplished person, you're in the internet business, everybody knows you in the internet. You became the chairman of the ISP, a chair lady actually, at that time. But the thing that hurt me most is that I did not receive any recognition from my parents. Believe it or not. My parents, They are all my parents, both of them quite successful as a parent and as my father was in a government official. And he was also a professor. So what he said that, Effie, it's very embarrassing for me to mention, to tell people what you're doing. And I said, Dad, why are you so embarrassed? I mean, people will say, hey, FEC, chairlady of the ISP, she's so and so. Yeah, but think about it this way. I have 5 children. Yes, 5. 4 of them are into the academics. 2 of them are PhDs, you know, and 4 of them are also professors at the university. And he said, and then you, and he pointed to me, first of all, you're not a professor. You're not even in the government thing, the government job. You tell people that you're into the service industry, yet I don't see you doing any services. And I was like, okay, wait, I'm in the internet. You have email, you connected to the internet, you read everything on the internet. And he said, no, that's my secretary's job. It's not my job, you know. So I said, okay. So aren't you proud of me? No. If you were a masseuse, the person who do a massage, giving services, I would be very proud of you, even though you're in the industry business. If you were a makeup artist, I will tell people, go and have Effie as a makeup artist. Now, what am I going to tell my friend? Well, you know, internet, and then my friend is now in the 80s, and my friend will say, what is an internet? And what am I supposed to say? And then I'm going to say, she's into the service industry. And that's not true, you know why? Because I cannot feel anything what you're servicing. You do not touch me, you do not make me happy, I cannot feel the thing that you're doing. And he said, and the most embarrassing thing, you charge people for nothing, you know? So he said,
Change today?
Well, no, I'll tell you the tear. I mean, it took him, I started the ISP business in 95. It took him the year 2000 when my company became public that he acknowledged them. And then that's, I tell you why I wanted to have a public company. Because that's the only way that I can tell my father that is accepted internationally, since he's an economist, that is, yes, my company has value. And that was the motivation for me that, no, I have to go public. And there was no rules at the time that an IT company can become a public company. So what I did, I went to the government. I said that I want to sit on the regulation board for underboard development for ICT. And then the reason of that is to allow ICT company to become public. And the government said, oh yeah, how are you going to do that? And I said, I'm going to prove it with my company first. If my company can go public first, then you will have all the ICT companies to become public. So that's the hurdle that I faced, not from the community, but first it came from the family.
Very good. Actually, these stories are very interesting, I think, from the point of view of APNIC. As a community, right, the technical community, that there are all different parties that is necessary for innovation. It's been, many studies have shown that when you bring gender diversity, age diversity, cultural diversity, professional diversity, and you bring them together, that's when you have true innovation. And I think your story and all the 3 stories are one indication of that. So at this point, because we would like to try to stop at 2, and I want to try to keep this interactive, here's your opportunity to find out from 3 very amazing women from Indonesia. Any questions? Anybody wants to start the ball rolling on questions from the audience? How about, are you curious to know a little bit more about themselves? They're trying to find lifestyle balance, as people call it. Right? Anyone interested in that area? Yeah? Okay, there you go. Talk about how your challenge. I mean, she started the ball rolling by talking about your challenge with your father, right? I think the 2 of you have the advantage of being more the internet generation, where you probably didn't have that problem. But how is it like as a holistic? You made this choice. You're very geeky. You love what you do. Do you have a support structure around you? Does that make a difference? And maybe also put it within the context of Indonesia, so people can understand. Are you guys exceptions, or are you the rule today?
Wow, being in internet generation doesn't make it any easier, I think. Because we started our own business. Usually, my father generation, they work with government. So when I started this business, they considered me as a failure because you cannot get into government office. So you started your own business, and for around three years, my father cannot see anything, and still at that time he said that exactly like Abby said that I cannot tell my friends what your job is because like he just said okay something with Batik. And he cannot, even though my father is an engineer, and he cannot explain how this technology with Batik ever come together. And that's why it's new, right? That's why it is innovative. But yeah, it took me 3 years to get my family understand. After the previous president, Bapak SBY, invited me as one of the best innovators of Indonesia. So that's
And then your father was
happy. After the president called me, and then my father happy. Oh, you do something. Okay, this is I understand because you called to the National Palace by the president. Okay, so yeah, for women in tech business as an entrepreneur, we're outliers, I think.
But in your case, you came from a family where your father was educated and had tech.
Yes.
Do you think, and also sounds like you were a little bit more well-to-do, right? So what is the challenge for a woman in Indonesia today to get into the tech business?
Well, the access to technology is not that easy. Yes, the infrastructure and I think the barrier is also the fear because many of my friends, women, and they keep asking me how to let go your fear of technology because if they're faced with a device and they say, okay, if I click this, how to avoid something wrong? Disaster. Yes, disaster. And I said, don't worry, just click whatever and it will come up, and you just need to get used to it, just like other device. There's no technology.
Fear of technology.
The fear of
That's
technology.
So back, you think, as opposed to economic opportunity or education.
Economic opportunity, but I think the first is the fear of technology. Yes.
Okay, you want to...
So the experience is kind of different from Nancy and myself. I think me myself encounter technologies only on the university year because in the house we don't actually have computers until like I was in the second or third year on my university. So I always do the work, assignment, things like that on the campus fields. And although that family is also one of the support systems that are very supportive of what I'm going to do, and I think it was also the same within others. And the length of work that I have to do from the day that I start the company up until right now is actually very expensive. I mean, starting the company, I work like, if people work from 9 to 5, I work like 9 to 12 a.m. And the struggle, the length that I do is all achievable because the family support me. Because my mom, my father, and all the family that I have really support whatever that you want to do, and they see the results. Because my family background is actually, when I said, okay, what do you want to do when you grow up? So because my grandfather was a doctor, so my mom kind of expected me to become doctors. And I end up owning the business of my own. And what I also learned when I growing the business, actually the women in my office is actually, from the day I started, it's like 50-50, 50 to 40% male and female compositions. And it's kind of a good thing because we've managed to retain that level of like 40% female in all, right now 100, there's about 40-ish people. And last year we have this initiative of like, you do your work 70%, 20% you can explore other element within the company. Like for example, we have divisions, content, designers, programming, and media placement, and things like that. And all the people on the company can actually have extracurricular activities. They can.
So you're basically based your struggle. You're making it easier for the next generation, right? That's great. Yeah, fantastic.
And what I'm trying to say is that when I make those 70 and 20% and 10%, they can do like good work outside of the office. And the 20%, actually 60% that 18 people are taking the opportunity to do the 20%. They actually, for example, they're programmer and they can apply to become a designer as well, or they're designers, they can apply to be programmers. 18 people are applying this year, and 60% of them are actually a female. Okay. So that was a good thing in terms of that the female employees and the company is eager to learn other things within the all digital ecosystem.
So you're paying it forward.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. How about you? Would you say that things are changing? I mean, you talked already a little bit of some of your struggles. Do you think things are moving in the right direction in Indonesia to have more women in ICT?
Yes, I can say that based on my experience. Right now, what I'm saying that right now I'm the special staff to the Ministry of Defense in cybersecurity area. So what happened that the military they are not used to having women, in their special assignment or special task force. But this is funny. 3 years ago, they appointed me as a coordinator for the special task force, which is cybersecurity. The reason, not that they're looking at me as a woman, which I'm so proud, because this is the time when they're not looking at me as a woman, but they're looking at me as a person that they need. I was in school 3 years ago with most of the military guys, and what happened is that they said this, okay, Effie, we have no choice other than to appoint you. And I said, okay, that's a comforting thing to say. And they say that, you know why? We cannot choose men. And I was like, what? You don't trust men? You trust me more?
Oh, you get the job done.
Oh, yeah. No. Well, yeah, I would like to say that. And they said, no, not because we don't trust men, because we cannot find any man in the military who has a specialization as you. My specialization is forensic, by the way, forensic digital. And so he said that, and they said that, and we also need someone who graduated from the military school, specializing in terrorism. I was the only one specializing in terrorism. And then he said, bringing women is much easier. I was like, whoa. So yeah.
Did he explain what he meant by that?
Oh yeah, he did. Meaning that in terms of covert operation or anything like that, it's considered non-threat to have a woman being in that task. So I was like, okay, this is a changing thing. I mean, they're not looking at me as a woman per se. They're looking at me as more as a person that they need. And at the beginning, I was so happy to join this. So happy because I was like, oh, now I'm among the boys. But then I regretted one reason. They can call me anytime. They will call me like 2 o'clock in the morning and they said, Effie, wake up. And I said, I'm already up. I'm receiving your call, sir. And they said, okay, Effie, I need you to analyze the computer to find out all the files that are already being erased. And I said, okay, when? Now. And I said, oh, why? And he said, because I need it. I'm detaining the prisoner or the man only, I can have it until the morning, until 7 o'clock in the morning. So you better work now. And then, okay, I have to get the computer. No. The person is already in front of your house. You go downstairs, you pick up the computer, 4 o'clock, I need the computer back. At first, it was fun. And then the next assignment again, okay, Effie, get ready. You're going to go to a place, you have to have clothes for 2 days, no questions asked, Bring all your gadgets, all my cabling and things like that. It was a big thing. And get ready. And I said, okay, in the morning? No, now. So they picked me up like 4 o'clock in the morning, didn't ask me, put me in a plane, shipped me to some place that's on the island actually, and then they asked me to work, just go work. The funny thing is that I work on the computer and then they gave me a diving equipment. They said, Effie, You dive? Yes, I dive. Dive. You know, I was like, oh, I saw the place diving, you know. 2 days later, sent me home. I didn't know think what I was doing. I mean, I knew the thing that I was doing on the computer. I didn't know what was the reality was until like a week later. It was announced that the Indonesian blah 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 caught terrorists, particularly from this place. And I was like, oh, I was in that place.
That was me.
That was me. It became gruesome for me until at the end I told the minister, sir, I think I'm going to quit. And he said, you cannot quit until you teach one of our guys. So I said, okay, I want to be the trainer. I no longer want to be in the terrorist assignment area. I more or less just stick to the plan. What was your plan? The trainer. And so, even though I was not really trainer, we had a team of 10, I started thinking that was good because it feels good to be acknowledged that way. It also feels good that finally people are changing the way they see women. That's it.
Great story. Thank you. Anybody else has questions? Yes.
APNIC has a program to try to encourage participation. Okay. I think
Sure, I've got a sprained ankle, but I'll try.
what else can APNIC do to encourage participation of women in their technical sector? We support participation at this conference, but what else can we do? What are some
Perhaps maybe you could share what APNIC is currently doing, then maybe we can add what else they could do.
So we provide fellowships to the conference to support. I think we have some fellows here.
Yeah? Can the fellows put up their hands? Oh, cool! Yes.
What else? I mean, really the fellowship program is the main aspect
Okay.
that we do. I mean, and we'd like to do more because obviously there's a need for it.
And I believe, Sylvia, that Nancy is an APNIC grantee?
Yes.
Nancy is a EASY award winner. That's why this is really screen cards on your desk, so you can.
Nancy, stand up. She's now the new APNIC grantee. And what else? I think somebody else mentioned. What
I
else
was
is
just
APNIC
about to
doing?
say that I just put these things on your table, so please remember that you can cast your vote for the EASY award winners and vote for Nancy so she can get it. So we do have the privilege to have several award winners from the EASY program that are women, and it's part of the work that I do to help them come to the conference and share their experiences.
So, do you want to add anything else you think APNIC could be doing? Duncan's asking for input.
We can share this mic, and then you can roll that to your audience. So they're providing fellowships for people to attend conferences. We're giving grantees awards so that more women in IT can be recognized.
Yes, I think those programs are great, and I think we need more publication on that program because before Sylvia already told us about it.
Yeah, so Sylvia, I met in Singapore, then we told her about Girls in ICT Day, and then we spread it out.
Yes.
Girls ICT Day.
And I think we need to spread more words about it, and I think it will be really nice to have a conference in Indonesia for the women in ICT, so they can be more equipped with information what can APNIC do with our works right now. Yes.
Anything else you want to add? They're doing fine. I might add something, Duncan, if I don't mind.
Part of the issues sometimes is also faces of people. So like the awards gives an ability to bring the faces of women forward. But part of it sometimes is also communication differences, because I've been 25 years in a very male-dominated environment, and Barry knows all my thoughts about it. Sometimes without realizing it, women are invisible to men. And in the US as well now, there's a lot of conversations. In fact, Silicon Valley, which I was there for 14 years, has written a lot now, today, about the sexism in the Bay Area. But it's an unconscious thing. And Barry, where's Barry? He's still here? Okay, my husband Barry is here. So Barry, for example, was telling me that because the reason I married him is because he was the opposite of that. He learned that in the Air Force.
In the US Air Force, when he was there, they actually took classes on diversity and about gender inclusion. So there is actually a way, sometimes people don't even realize. I'll give you one example. I was at Stanford University on a smart grid discussion, and I was the only, myself and another African American woman, so we were the only women and of color in the room, sitting at the front. And the guy basically, in his viewpoint, did not see us. He didn't even realize he was doing it. And so I put up my hand to ask a question. He asked the person behind me, in front of me, everything, you know. And of course, I'm still very Asian, so I tried to be polite, and I didn't say anything. If not, I would have stood up and said, "Hey, guy, get me," you know. So, but then it really irked me. And at the end of the conference, I went up to him and I said, "Is there a reason why you didn't call on me?" And he was like, "What? You put up your hands?" I mean, he literally did not see me. And so this concept of invisibility, I think what APNIC can do is maybe help create tools for conversations. A lot of women who have come to, I don't come a lot anymore. Some people notice I've been kind of absent in the region, because after a while you get tired. You don't get heard, you don't get listened to, it gets really tired, and you sound like a broken record when you say, hey, you need to listen to her. So maybe bring in some of the tools for collaboration. It is not just a woman, it's also including people from different islands, Pacific Islands, from different cultures as well. So that's where I think it can help. Yeah? Any other questions, any thoughts from the audience?
Before Duncan made that question, I was actually going to ask, can you guys have mentors, or who, you know, besides the support from your family, have you benefited from any mentoring programs or opportunities to?
That's a great question. That's a great question. Yeah. Yes, yes.
We have about 5 more minutes.
Okay, so to tell you the truth, that me myself haven't have those opportunities to have speaking into the mentorship level. We do have mentors, but it's actually the person that we try to like search for the person ourselves, not in like mentorship programs and a special training.
You are being a mentor to the women in your organization.
Yes.
So talk about that.
So what I've done is actually I've co-managed and co-create the Girls Impact. It's basically because we want to share the knowledge of what we have. So I've been in the industry since 2002, and basically wants to like spread the news and spread the education. So we've done right now we've done like a dinner sessions with the same entrepreneur, female entrepreneur in the industry. And we also have what we call a workshop. So the workshop is actually for the women that non-digitals. So we, from movie industry and from other industry that wants to learn about the digital. And we also, Girls Impact is also having this initial ideas to have a Women Win. So Women Win initiative is actually wealth innovation now. So it was something that we are going to launch within the September and December.
So to answer Sylvia, you think that mentorship
So,
will be one of the key issues then?
Basically, yes, because I think when the women starting to learn and they grasp it faster from our experience, and they are willing to also like translate it into another woman to share it.
And Nancy, maybe do you think that's a key part of overcoming the fear that you talked about?
Yes, certainly. I think mentorship is a very good way to spread technology, especially in my field on how to apply technology in non-technological people in third world country like Indonesia, where the infrastructure is not there yet, where the internet is not available for everyone, and the country is so big. And so how can we reach them, and how can we make technology affordable, easier, and yes.
So the women who are doing the batik, for them, do you feel that the mentor has to be someone of a peer? Which means like if you come and talk to them, they'll say, of because you're from Jakarta,
Yes,
or
yes.
Bandung, right?
Yes.
So do you find sometimes it's better to have another woman who's doing batik, who's adopted it, to mentor the other woman?
I think that's a very good idea because that's also our program, peer mentorship. So we have the training for trainer, and they can spread the training among other artisans. And yeah, because of they feel okay, this is my friend who teach me, and they will feel more comfortable. Yes.
Okay, Sylvia's questions in terms of mentoring. I myself would recommend women to join organizations, associations, because they're like this place, that's a place where we share. And at the beginning of my career, I can be at this level, it's also because of mentoring. And the mentors are actually my buddies at the ISP Association. They're all guys, and then they would teach me things, technology things. I had no fear of technology because I always loved technology, and so they continue, and these friends, for 20 years now, they continue to be my best buddies, and they continue to learn elsewhere, and they share it with me. So being in an association and organization, it is important. It is definitely give an eye-opener for anything new.